So I'm gonna give you the top 5 reasons on why you should not move to Colorado. So many people are moving here and some of them are regretting it. So I don't want you to make that mistake. So the first reason on not to move, why you should not move to Colorado, is the weather. I know it's nice and sunny right now, but the change in the weather, in the seasons, is hard on a lot of people. A lot of people are coming from Arizona and coming from Texas and coming from California and coming from Florida, and usually it's pretty warm in those areas. And so to get some snow isn't always the best for them. I think it's so funny, you know, I'm a real estate agent here, and so when people buy something and they're like, oh, this is great, this is perfect, and they buy it at 9,000 feet, and then they come here for the winter and they don't realize how much shoveling of snow they're having to do, or how much they're having to pay for someone to shovel all that snow. When they get a foot of snow one night and then they get another snow and they're like, oh, we don't need to plow it, we'll just plow it in a little bit, then it turns to ice, and then they're having ice dams and ice problems. And so it's definitely, the seasons here are beautiful. But I will say that a lot of people are not used to the snow. They're not used to the change in temperature. Like this morning it was 36 degrees and later in the afternoon it's probably going to be 75. So that right there, people are like, oh, you know, or getting thunderstorms in the afternoon and it drenches them on their hike. So it's important for you to understand the weather and all the different things that we do get here in Colorado. The number 2 reason to not move to Colorado is the wildlife, right? We live in the mountains and there's bears and there's mountain lions, right? Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. And there really is, you know, so there's all kinds of wildlife and it's in your backyard. It's literally walking downtown. We constantly get bears that are getting in the trash, getting into people's homes. So that's something that you'd have to get used to. There are mountain lions here. You know, my father-in-law's lived here his entire life and he finally saw his first mountain lion with his own eyes, right? So it's not common that you see them, but they do live here. We are invading their space, their territory. As you see more deer here than you do dogs, which is cool. But when it comes to getting used to living in the mountains, that is something that you'll constantly see, is the wildlife, and that could really throw you off if you're from the city and you're not used to that. And it's great to see, but it's also one of those things that could be really scary for you. So that's the number 2 reason to not live or move to Colorado, is the wildlife. It may just be too much for you. The third reason to not move to Durango is it's too small. Or Colorado, these mountain towns are too small, and when you're coming from the big city and you're used to all the shopping and all the places to eat, the In-N-Outs and the Chick-fil-A's and all those places, those do not exist here. So you have to get used to small town living, and so that may be a reason why you don't want to move here. The number 4 reason to not move to Colorado is the altitude, right? There's a lot of people who struggle to breathe, right? At this higher altitude. Altitude sickness is a real thing, right? So there are ways to be preventative about it. You do get used to it over time. But for people who are getting to a higher, you know, age, or they have breathing problems or whatever it is, it could be a serious issue. And so we constantly see people who go and they buy something at 9,000 square feet, 9,000 elevation, and it's just harder to breathe, right? Durango sits where I live at 6,700 square feet, 67. I'm used to selling that much real estate, right? So it's 67 in elevation, 66,700 elevation. And so that can be hard to breathe for people. And so when you're coming from sea level, when you're coming from San Diego and you're coming from the nice beaches in Florida and you want to get into the mountains, you're really getting into the mountains. And so that's what you sleep at. It's great for people who are looking to train, but as far as living constantly always at this altitude, it takes a little while to get used to. So that may be a reason for you not to move here. So it's a serious thing. Altitude sickness, you may get it. There are ways to be preventive of it. You can get IVs that will help. You can get those little oxygen things that you see at the gas station. People do those. So, but as far as being able to constantly live here all the time, you may consider the altitude. Achoo! So the 5th reason why you may not want to move to Colorado is allergies, right? That we live in the great outdoors and we're constantly changing seasons, and so there's always something that you could sneeze about, right? There's always something that could cause you to, you know, have a harder time breathing or something like that. So you just got to consider it. It's the 5th reason why you may not want to move here is the allergies that you may have. All right, so those are the 5 reasons why you shouldn't move to Colorado, and to be honest, those aren't enough reasons for you not to. There's too many good reasons that outweigh the bad, that are amazing. This is one of the best places on earth to live, and so I want to encourage you, if those things don't scare you, go ahead and click the link below. It'll lead to my website, and we can help you find the perfect dream home, perfect vacation home, a place where you can go and make memories with your spouse or with your family, and they're going to say, hey, thank you so much for creating this place for us to vacation to. Thank you so much for being able to go out in the wilderness and enjoy the hiking and the biking and all the stuff that is all the reasons why you should move here. And if you want to know the top 5 reasons why you should move here, you can click the link below and we'll show you that video. And if you've liked this, subscribe. We'll see you next time.